Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English on Autopilot. Today, I want to talk about a story of me living here in Spain. When I first moved to Spain, I didn't speak Spanish, but I wanted to learn. It was a big goal of mine to learn how to speak Spanish. And I had a friend, Tim, who also was here learning Spanish. But Tim was pretty good. Tim spoke really good Spanish. He was in classes, he was in a B2 level, and upper intermediate level. Tim spoke really well. Me, I was an A2. Oh, I was much lower. I was still learning. I hadn't even started to really speak other than very, very basic things. But Tim in class, he gave speeches on technology. He talked about his family, his friends. He talked about his hopes and dreams, what he wanted to be in the future. Tim in class, I wasn't in his class, but all my friends in his class said, "Wow, Tim, it's like I'm speaking with a native. Tim, he's always speaking. The teacher always gives him good grades. He's the best in the class. He is the top, number one student." And I always said, "Tim, I want to be like you." One day, Tim's teacher told Tim he should go to a language exchange. A language exchange is where people that all speak different languages come together. In Spain, they're normally at a bar where you can have a drink and talk. And you both speak in your native languages together, right? So for Tim and I, two Americans, we would go to the language exchange and we would find people that are learning English and we're learning Spanish. We would speak to them 10, 15 minutes in English. They speak to us in English. Then we speak 10, 15 minutes in Spanish. It's a language exchange. And Tim was very excited because Tim always, ever since he was little, had the dream of speaking Spanish like a native speaker, right? You see it everywhere. Everyone has the goal. I want to speak like a native speaker, which a lot of people really want to say, I want to speak the language perfectly without making a mistake ever. That's what they really mean. Now, Tim, he invited me to go with him. Remember, I was very low, an A2, but I said, "Tim, I'll go with you. You don't want to go alone? I'll go with you. No problem. No problem. Let's go." So Tim and I go to this bar for the language exchange. We get there, and Tim, we put on our name tags right here where it says your name, right? So Tim writes his name, boom. I write my name, boom, right on the shirt. Okay. We start talking to people in English to find some Spanish speakers. We find two people, a guy and a girl, that are both from Spain. We start speaking in English to start. When it was time to switch to Spanish, we start speaking a little in Spanish. Tim said something. I wasn't sure exactly what he said, but then his face, he turned red. He turned red and he got very quiet. I didn't know what happened, but after, Tim, he didn't say anything in Spanish. He didn't say anything. Later, we leave. After we'd finished our conversation with the guy and the girl, we switched back to English because Tim didn't speak Spanish anymore. He didn't want to say anything. And I couldn't have a conversation in Spanish yet. I was still learning. So we switched back to English. And after a little while, we left, Tim and I. We left the bar, and I turned to Tim and I said, "Tim, what happened? Why'd you get so quiet? You were speaking in Spanish. You sounded great." "No, no, 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 no. Uh, I I think I used the wrong verb tense. I think I used it wrong. I made a mistake. And I said, well, Tim, that's why we're here. We're here to learn. It's okay to make mistakes. No, no, no. I want to speak like a native speaker. He wanted to speak perfectly. Today, I want to talk a little bit about what's wrong with trying to be perfect when you're learning a language. Perfectionism, the need to be perfect, everything to be exactly right, is the enemy of language learning. Language learning is not like learning maths. It's not like learning history. It's not like learning things that are concrete, that are solid. In math, there's an answer. You can find the answer and you can show exactly why it's the correct answer. In history, the dates are set. Unless they discover something new, the dates of when things happen are set in time, right? We know the American Revolution began in 1776. Done. That's the answer, right? We know World War II ended in 1945. Done. That's the answer, right? In math, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Yeah, we know that. In language learning, it's a little different because here's my secret. Even native speakers make mistakes in their native language. In English, I make mistakes. In English, I realize, oh, no, that's not correct, right? I realize, oh, I think I used that incorrectly. Whether it be a word, a grammatical structure of a sentence, it happens. It happens. And I hear native speakers make mistakes. And I read mistakes. So, if you want to speak like a native speaker, it doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but you have to speak. You'll never speak like a native speaker without speaking. Of course, with this method, with the method of comprehensible input, I highly recommend waiting a little bit to speak when you're starting. I recommend waiting to receive hours of input. It could be a lot, it could be hundreds of hours of input before speaking. But when you reach that point, when you're ready to speak, when you've watched enough hours, listened to enough hours, you need to speak. And you need to tell yourself, it's okay. It's okay to make a mistake. I speak Spanish. I have a C1 certificate in Spanish. I live in Spain. I speak Spanish every single day, with friends, with with anyone. When I go get a coffee, when I go to the store, when I get my hair cut. Did you notice? New haircut. Anytime, anytime I need to speak to someone here, it's in Spanish. I make mistakes still, not all the time. In the beginning, when I first started speaking, quite often I made certain mistakes. But when I keep going, when I keep speaking, when I keep practicing, I get better. And the same will happen with you. It's okay to make that mistake. The most important thing is to communicate so that the person you're speaking with understands you. If you make a little mistake in the grammar, it's okay. They're going to understand. The most important thing is to feel confident, is to allow yourself to make mistakes and know you are doing a good job. You're speaking in another language. You already are doing amazing, right? You're doing great. Make that mistake. Learn from it and keep going. you will improve as long as you keep practicing and you keep listening and you keep watching and you keep reading in your language that you're learning, you're going to improve. If you are doing it every day, there is no way, it is impossible that you don't continue improving. Now, my friend Tim, he didn't keep improving, but not because he made mistakes, because he gave up. He stopped learning Spanish. He stopped going to classes. He moved back to the United States, all because he made a mistake while speaking. And it makes me sad to think about because Tim could be here and speaking very, very, very well. He could be speaking absolutely fluently, make a few mistakes once in a while, like everyone else, but have no problem. Have no problems, right? So please trust yourself and be nice to yourself. You're doing great. You're doing great. Don't try to be perfect, okay? Do not try to be perfect when you're learning a language. No one, even native speakers, right? Even native speakers, they are not perfect. No one can be perfect. Do your best, learn from your mistakes, keep listening, keep watching, keep reading, and you will get to where you want to go. Okay? And along that journey, celebrate. Like I have said in a previous video, celebrate, please. You're doing something very difficult. Okay? So, that's it for today. Today, I hope you guys learned that it's okay to make mistakes and that even native English speakers will make mistakes. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, right? Answer in the comments. What do you do when you make mistakes? What do you do? For me, I like to think about it for a second. No, it said like that. And then forget about it. Because you don't need to keep thinking about it, in my opinion, because you keep realizing you're going to fix it. What do you do when you make mistakes? What scares you about speaking in English? Is it making mistakes? Is it your accent? Put that in the comments below. Okay? And then maybe I'll make some videos addressing your comments as well because it's normal to be worried. It's normal to have doubts. So put it in the comments below. Like, subscribe. If you can, please donate to the channel so I can continue to grow, continue making new videos. Hopefully here soon, we're going to try a new style of videos. So hopefully you'll be seeing that as well soon. All right. Everyone have a great day, a great week, great weekend, great month. All right. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.